ॐ ॐ ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। ॐ श्रीकृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अष्टादशोऽध्यायः मोक्षसंन्यासयोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच स्वे स्वे कर्मण्यभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः स्वकर्मनिरतः सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु यतः प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः। श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मोत्स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वभावनियतं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्। सहजं कर्म कौन्तेय सदोषमपि न त्यजेत् सर्वारम्भा हि दोषेण धूमेनाग्निरिवावृताः। असक्तबुद्धिः सर्वत्र जितात्मा विगतस्पृहः नैष्कर्म्यसिद्धिं परमां सन्न्यासेनाधिगच्छति। सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्म तथाप्नोति निबोध मे। समासेनैव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा बुद्ध्या विशुद्धया युक्तो धृत्यात्मानं नियम्य च शब्दादीन् विषयान् त्यक्त्वा रागद्वेषौ व्युदस्य च विविक्तसेवि लद्ध्वांसि यत वाक्कायमानसः ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः अहङ्कारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं परिग्रहं विमुच्य निर्ममः शान्तो ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते। ब्रह्मभूतः प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते परां भक्त्या मामभिजानाति यावान्यश्चास्मि तत्त्वतः ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तदनन्तरम् सर्वकर्माण्यपि सदा कुर्वाणो मव्यपाश्रयः मत्प्रसादादवाप्नोति शाश्वतं पदमव्ययम् चेतसा सर्वकर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य यन्मत्परः चेतसा सर्वकर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः बुद्धियोगमुपाश्रित्य मच्चित्तः सततं भव मच्चित्तः सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्प्रसादात् तरिष्यसि अथ चेत्त्वम् अहङ्कारान् न श्रोष्यसि विनङ्क्ष्यसि यदहङ्कारमाश्रित्य न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वां नियोक्ष्यति स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धस्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यसि वशोऽपि तत् कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत् ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु So we were doing the last portion. Yesterday, Sumaji had read very important talk. Uh, I just would like to quickly browse through. I will just remind that it was verse 47, I believe, right? I will just read from the Bhagavad Gita, 48, Kshamyatam. सहजं कर्म कौन्तेय सदोषमपि न त्यजेत् सर्वारम्भा हि दोषेण धूमेनाग्निरिवावृताः. One should not abandon, O Kaunteya, the duty to which one is born, though faulty, for are not all undertakings enveloped by evil as fire by smoke? Yeah. So, Jnana Nishtha, and that we were saying, I will read from here. The immediate accomplishment of Karma Yoga is a preparedness leading ultimately to Jnana Nishtha. The accomplishment resulting from a life of karma yoga is characterized as a preparedness for abiding knowledge of the nature of the self. When daily activities are done with an attitude which converts every action into yoga, a means for self-purification, the mind undergoes a change. This changed condition of the mind is what is called preparedness, the eligibility for abiding knowledge or for a commitment to knowledge of the self, jnana nishtha yogyata. Any ultimate aim in a given pursuit is called nishtha. So, a nishtha in knowledge of Atma means a knowledge of the self which has gone as far as it can go. It does not leave anything to be desired. A knowledge of the self which is free from vagueness, free from error or doubt is what is called a jnana nishtha. This particular compound, Jnana Nishtha, has been confusing for many who have misunderstood this word and other statements that you must first gain knowledge of the self and then afterwards gain experience of it. They create a division between knowledge and experience. But experience in this instance is not wanting, for experience is the nature of yourself. All experiences are strung together in the experience of yourself. You are a conscious person, and that consciousness that obtains in you as yourself is called experience, anubhuti or anubhava, which is always present as the self-evident I in all forms of experience. Therefore, it is not to be experienced, it is to be understood. There is no question of first gaining knowledge and then later converting it into experience because knowledge is final. Lack of experience of myself is not the problem here. I can only lack experience of what I do not have, and I am is experienced all the time. What I lack is only recognition of what the self is. If that self is mistaken for anything other than what it is, then the resolution of the mistake means correcting the error about myself. It is knowledge. The eligibility for this knowledge is what is accomplished by Karma Yoga, which accounts for complete freedom from the hold of my own likes and dislikes, raga and dveshas. The whole Gita deals with the psychology of a person in terms of likes and dislikes, as we have seen. As long as I am in their hands, I will have problems in gaining Jnana Nishtha, and therefore, management of the Raga Dveshas is the preparedness that is essential for this knowledge. The final result of a life of Karma Yoga is this knowledge, but the Karma Yoga itself does not produce knowledge. This is true of any knowledge. You cannot gain it just because you are prepared. You have to adequately employ the appropriate means of knowledge. The knowledge thus gained has its own result, and that is going to be told here. But one thing I would like you to know here is that whether you gain knowledge or not, the result of Karma Yoga itself is desirable. With reference to the knowledge, it is called preparedness, but the immediate result of Karma Yoga is desirable in its own right. Because if I can manage my likes and dislikes, I have more or less made a success of my life. So, the confusion free mind, which is not based on our raga dvesha, and right attitude that will give us the jnana nishtha, and we don't have to do anything for that. It is the attitude with which we do our karma yoga, with which we do our routine, our work, whatever we take. Should we complete and then we can have a discussion? It is very, very important paragraph. So yeah, I complete that thing. What is real success in one's life? After all, what is success? If it is being able to fulfill my likes and dislikes, I am bound for failure. Because it is not possible to fulfill all of them. In their non-fulfillment, I am going to feel wanting and become critical of myself, judging myself as a failure. As long as one has self-criticism, no matter what one accomplishes, no matter what laurels, titles, and great prizes one receives at the hands of humanity, one will not feel good about oneself. You will only feel that people are being charitable. Had they known you, they would have withdrawn all of them. Such is your opinion about yourself. Even if one is not self-critical, while accomplishments can create a certain sense of self-worth, it can never be total because there is no end to the things you can accomplish or the improvements you can bring to any accomplishment. Any discipline of knowledge you have only opens up wider and wider areas of ignorance as you delve into it more deeply. No matter how much knowledge you have, you can never feel great about yourself from the standpoint of what you know. Mere accomplishment in terms of skill, knowledge, money, power, etc., does not really create your self worth. Nor do you require self worth as long as you do not criticize yourself, because the self is already worthy. As long as you do not criticize yourself, you are safe, very safe. When we are self critical, we want to develop self worth to counteract that. But with the background of self criticism, no pursuit is going to be fruitful. Self examination is quite a different thing, which is desirable and even necessary to interact appropriately with the world. That is entirely different from being critical of yourself all the time. Everybody has this habitual self criticism, and if you take care of that, you will be mature, because handling the inner critic is also part of managing one's likes and dislikes, raga, dveshas. Gaining a mastery over our likes and dislikes through karma yoga is successful living. The management of one's likes and dislikes include not being swept off my feet when they are fulfilled and accepting gracefully a so-called failure. There is no such thing as failure if you analyze it, but rather simply an action and a result. Failure is only in terms of our expectation of what the result would be, an expectation stemming from our knowledge. Having an expectation is unavoidable. Otherwise, we could not perform an action. And having an expectation unfulfilled is also inevitable, because our knowledge is not complete. With inadequate knowledge, we project an outcome for our activities and then conclude that we have failed if the outcome is less than or the opposite of what we expected. We have not failed, but have fulfilled what is expected. Please remember, very beautiful takeaway. We have not failed, but have fulfilled what is expected. Because our knowledge is so inadequate, we are always at the risk of failing. Even if we have planned everything out very well, it is still a calculated risk. We can only plan and then act according to the plan, and then wait to see what happens. In every future projection, there is a risk of this so-called failure. We cannot consider it a failure because a human being's knowledge is limited. And therefore, if the expectation based on this limited knowledge can go wrong, failure is natural. If it goes right, we should feel grateful for the powers that be. But if it is wrong, it is very natural. Knowing that it is expected that things will not always happen as I wish makes it easy to develop an attitude of karma yoga. Another takeaway, I repeat this line: knowing that it is expected that things will not always happen as I wish makes it easy to develop an attitude of karma yoga. There seems to be a law based on my own free will, or in which my free will is included, about which I have very little understanding. That is the law of karma, the law of dharma, which may include my own past action, that is perhaps enhancing or stifling the result of an action I do now. I repeat this line: there seems to be a law based on my own free will, or in which my free will is included, about which I have very little understanding. That is the law of karma, the law of dharma, which may include my own past action, that is perhaps enhancing or stifling the result of an action I do. That is why in every culture we have expressions equivalent to good luck and bad luck. There is no such thing as chance at all. It is only a way of saying that we do not know all the factors involved. The mango did not decide to fall on your head, but it happens to fall on your head, nobody else's. You can simply take it as chance, or you can appreciate that there may be some unknown factors operating here. Everything has causes. In any endeavor, the law of karma may be operating against what I want or in favor of what I want. Whether one understands this or not, every human being has the concept of good luck and bad luck. A cow may not think that I am lucky because it finds itself in a meadow with a lot of grass. The concept of luck is understood only by the human beings who experience things going smoothly or things going in sixes and sevens on a given occasion. The animals may not have this concept even though they experience varying situations. Thus, if you understand that you cannot determine the outcome of your actions, you have the proper attitude. This attitude includes appreciating the Lord as the one who shapes the actions, karma phaladata, according to the law. The laws themselves are the Lord Ishvara. Recognizing that you do not look upon any unpleasant thing that comes as some kind of conspiracy of the laws against you. It is not so. The laws cannot conspire against you because they are not partial. That is why they are laws. A law being what it is, there is no way it can cheat you. If you analyze it carefully, you can see that even another human being cannot cheat you. You just expected too much from him. Similarly, nobody can disappoint you. You just expected something that he could not live up to. If he could not, Kshamyatam, if he could have, he would have. It is that simple. The problem is he is incapable of what you expected. And if you ask why he is incapable, it is like asking why salt is salty and not sweet. We do not complain that salt is salty or sugar is sweet. Similarly, if a person behaves under certain circumstances in a given manner, you should know that if you had the same background, same parentage, same upbringing, same environment, same schooling, etc., you would find it impossible to behave any differently. Then you would be able to understand that he cannot behave differently. It is all very logical. The laws always operate logically. There is no mistake there. Only we make mistakes because our knowledge is inadequate. But if we understand that our knowledge is inadequate, half the battle is won. As human beings, we tend to think that we are in charge of everything and have a need to control situations because of our insecurity. A secure person is one who can accept that nothing necessarily goes his way and enjoys the fact that his life is full of surprises. I can either sit and cry about the fact that I cannot control my situations, or I can just be ready for surprises. This readiness for surprises and the capacity to take things as they come is Karma Yoga. I repeat, this readiness for surprises and the capacity to take things as they come is Karma Yoga. Naturally, the raga dveshas, likes and dislikes, lose their hold. The capacity to take things as they come, leave things as they go, and be ready for a surprise is the attitude of a karma yogi. It is important to note that it is not a certain type of karma, but this attitude that brings about the preparedness we are working for. When that is there, the knowledge that is pursued will gain a reality because there is nothing to oppose it. I repeat this last beautiful line. When that is there, the knowledge that is pursued will gain a reality because there is nothing to oppose it. The thing that opposes this knowledge is our own incapacity to have a hold over our raga dveshas. We have raga dveshas even with reference to the mind, wanting it to behave in a certain manner. As a karma yogi, you let the mind be as it is. There is nothing wrong with any mind as long as it is not crazy. And if you think it should be like this or that, you will make it go crazy in no time. The mind is a simple instrument meant for thinking and sometimes moving according to its own laws. You just let it go. You can allow it to have its own leisure time as long as it is available for you when you have a job to do. That is all you need. You don't judge yourself on the basis of your mind because unsteadiness, chanchalata, is its nature. It has got to be so. Self-judgment is the problem, and that will be there as long as you have binding raga dveshas. Though you can have as many likes and dislikes as you want if they don't bind you. Once this karma yoga is accomplished, knowledge is all that is required. For knowledge to take place, operation of the pramana by inquiry, vichara into the words of the Shastra called Shravana is needed. This should be followed by Manana, analysis of what is gained through Shravana. If there is any habitual problem remaining, contemplation, nididhyasana will take care of it. Then the knowledge will become complete. Introduction to the next shloka. Now, at the end of the Gita, in this 18th chapter, the freedom from action, Naishkarmya, characterized by complete knowledge, has to be told. This Naishkarmya was pointed out in the 4th, 5th, and 6th chapters. That which is free from all action, which is motionless, is Brahman, and the one who has knowledge of this motionless Brahman, which performs no action, is called Nishkarma. Its nature is Naishkarmya, actionlessness. This actionlessness has nothing to do with doing action or doing or not doing action. Not doing action is laziness or unwillingness or incapacity to act, whereas actionlessness, Naishkarmya, is the nature of Atma. And the knowledge of it is what is called Naishkarmya Siddhi. So beautiful.
Beautiful.
Very, very nice.
It is our first point. Accept people and the situation as they are. That is completely Karma Yoga.
Let us do it from the beginning, one by one. All the roadmaps are given. So kindly help in collecting all the important points, please. Let us all share. I request everyone kindly. Yeah, and this is Belaji, this is so important. Reading it again will help us all.
Hariom. Belaji, this is which page you have focused? What is real success in one's life? This is which
Yeah, the
page?
299. 299.
299.
Yes.
We can do Manana from immediate accomplishment of Karma Yoga is a preparedness leading ultimately to Gyanishta, because from
Yes,
here
yes.
that Raga Dvesha starts, right?
Correct, correct, correct.
I think reading, we read this twice, I think so.
Yes,
And
yes.
I think we, if we do Manana, that
Correct.
would, like it will be, then we'll remember some points and we can imbibe and try to live them.
Exactly.
I think so. Like this is
Yes.
my opinion. Rest as you all say.
Yeah, very true. Let us collect the roadmap. How do we get that preparedness? What is real preparedness? Renuji has said self-criticism, no self-criticism. We can do Manana, and if still we feel that there is a need to repeat, I will surely read once again. Yeah? Yeah. Let's do Manana for every point here discussed. Sureshji, Savitaji, Sumaji, and everybody, Sarlaji, everybody I request, Maltiji, Vandanaji, Lavlinji, let us all share our takeaways, please, one by one.
If the desired result doesn't happen, it is not due to any inaction from the other person or the circumstances. It is our expectations are very high, and due to that we think that the result has not come out. And also, if we are in the same shoes of the other person, our action would always be the same as that of the other person. So everybody is right in their own circumstances. It's just that we are expecting a lot out of them, and that is why we become unhappy.
Yeah, very right.
Very beautiful, very nice.
It's only that we have to be in that awareness state always, and that alert mind. Then only like thoughts will come, but with awareness you have to negate them to maintain your peace. And I think most of the time we are unhappy because of others people behavior or like expectations which we have from them, and when they are not fulfilled, the unhappiness is mostly because of that in day-to-day life. Yeah, very right.
We have to make our mind prepared for surprises. Not expect that it will happen the same way what we thought. So we have to be prepared for surprises. Whatever happens, accept it. That is the beautiful part of Karma Yoga.
And also should not be self-critical. Most of the time, we start dwelling on ourselves. Oh, I am like this. I'm not fit for this, like that. Shouldn't feel like that at all. No, don't criticize yourself.
Yeah, again, then accepting oneself also is the most important thing. Accepting oneself as we are, though we have missed some opportunities, or maybe something we think we should have done this, but we could not do due to circumstances. But there should not be any guilt of that. You should not have that guilt in you. It may be relations, it may be jobs, it may be any materialistic thing, anything. And most of the time we are caught up in that also. We feel that lackness, and it is again that with that awareness we have to come out. And I think one thing, like if you make an attitude of your life in that of a karma yogi, that will help a lot, because every time this is talked of in every after few verses, this karma yoga come. So this is we have to ingrain in ourselves that attitude with which we do our action. It should be a yoga that with non-doership, then just doing what is to be done at that time according to the dharma. So every time that awareness would be there, then you will be purifying your mind, and that preparedness is happening slowly. So then we read somewhere we read that that the knowledge is also experienced, like knowledge is also gained only when that antakarna shuddhi happens. In this verse only we read somewhere, I don't remember which page. Maybe that experience part, maybe.
No, if we have karma yoga, then automatically antakarana shuddhi happens, and then that gives a way to the knowledge in.
Yeah, right.
That is what it is. So unless antakarana shuddhi happens, the knowledge
will
cannot
not be
gained.
perceived.
Not be. First, we have to have sattvic buddhi now.
Yeah.
So we have to have sattvic, and sattvikata comes only by the antakarana shuddhi.
And
clarity of mind. Clarity of mind.
We read about the experience also, that
yes,
it is that we are experienced all the time. We initially we read in I think last verses that two ways we gain knowledge: by experience and cognition, and by the help of Vedas. So that two ways that we were talking about the experience, but here we are we read that the experience is that we are already experienced, what they say. This was one line.
We are that, need not have to experience it. We are that. We have to become pure being.
It is that you first gain knowledge and then you gain experience, but there is a division between this knowledge and experience. For experience in this instance is not wanting. For experience is the nature of yourself. This is the line I was searching for. Yeah. Experience is the nature of yourself. You are already experienced. It is that lack of experience of myself is not the problem. It is, I only lack experience of what I do not have, and I am experienced all the time. What I lack is only recognition of what the self is.
Very beautiful. The right attitude is also very important. Very nice.
And the ways to tackle the raga dvesha one by one, I think we all can say how the raga
Yes,
dvesha.
very important is
Yeah,
very important.
that is the
Preparedness.
main. If that raga dvesha is the main thing which affects us, and it's a great hurdle in our progress. So it should be literally point by point. We should memorize it and imbibe these values.
Especially the raga.
Yeah.
Desha
No,
is
dvesha
automatic.
also both things, but yes, the dvesha, it weakens you, and raga, it makes you elevated, like you are
No, because of raga, dvesha also comes.
yeah,
If
but
it is not
the
satisfied.
feelings behind dvesha is that hatred, jealousy, the negative.
Yeah. No,
It
because
is
of
more
the raga.
tamasic.
See, you have desired it and you don't get it, you get angry.
Yeah, but when you are desiring for something, you the feeling inside you are more of rajasic, no? When you are desiring for something, you are doing effort, you are they are more of a rajasic type. But when that dvesha is there, it is all, I think, tamasic. I don't not remember, but this is how I am analyzing it.
Very beautiful, very true.
I was just
For
like giving a thought. Yeah.
For Dvesha, Gurudev says, don't see intentions behind others' mistakes. Na, that knowledge point. Because then those, when we forgive and forget, so what happens is those, and when we are compassionate, when we forgive, we are compassionate. So those hatred, negative feelings, they don't come in. And we become more serene. Our personality becomes, beautiful. So come more compassionate. So this is one knowledge point which we already have, with our happiness program of tackling dvesha. And of course, like surrender is the second, in case we are unable to handle it. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, very nice, very nice.
Mainly if the knowledge, if you like, we are into this knowledge, and this knowledge is helping. It is, I will not say that we have got rid of raga dvesha, but to some extent it is helping us also, this knowledge uh, to get aware when that raga dvesha situation comes. So again, this the eligibility of this knowledge is what gives freedom from this raga dvesha.
How to tackle raga? Like with children, we have a lot of, attachment. So please guide on it.
How I take it is, I don't take them as my children. First of all, I take them as the souls which are connected to me. I gave birth. I am the mother, but they have their own journey. They have their own destiny. So I am just a medium to bring them in this world. And you know how hard you try, to change the things and make them on the right path. But if they have to face some things, they have to suffer, or there's something destiny is holding for them, you cannot prevent it. So when you know that you are not the doer, you are just a medium, so that helps it causes the clarity of mind so much that you get at once at peace in your heart. I always take my children as souls living with me. Some karma bandhan was there. That is why they are in my life, and mostly they are here for taking something. Maybe giving also, but mostly I feel it is taking. So because parents are always giving. So if it is your good prarabdha, you will get solace in your in your old age. And if prarabdha is holding something bad, then you will not get that save also. So I have clarity of these in this way. I perceive it this way. That is why I don't get much affected by what they are doing. I just take a seat back. I just observe. I just guide what should be done, and what should be the lifestyle. But if they are not listening, you cannot go to some extent. No, as Dr. Brahmrao always say, drop the message and leave. So you don't get caught up. You feel bad. Then only thing which I do when things get bad, I just pray. Especially after meditation, I only ask for sadbuddhi. I ask sadbuddhi for whole the family. Please give them sadbuddhi. Just after meditation, this is my prayer, nothing more.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very beautiful, Dr. Savita. Thank you so much for sharing.
Very profound knowledge. Very nice. Thank you for sharing. Very nice.
Gurudev always says, no, prayer is the highest power. Prayer and love.
And it shows effect, I was mentally imagining my children sitting sometimes they come in meditation, or sometime when I'm offering the jal to Surya. And then I imagine sometime that they are sitting in my prayer room. The thought comes that. So then one day, they do not do any prayer before leaving, or they're, that practical this thing. They do not have these values. So it is not that I have not been praying since I came in this house. I was praying, but either they were thinking that this is the mother's duty only to do the prayer. Maybe that is in their mind, but somewhere in their heart they have this, that yes, it is something, some higher consciousness is there. Or maybe they acknowledge, but they do not want to show also. This can be the possibility. But one day, he had a very bad fear. In the office, some things were going bad, so he was very disturbed. So I told him that how I tackle my problem is through my dharma. Dharma in sense, with the help of God. Whatever problem I face, I go to God. I don't seek any other source of solace. And whatever I think is for your situation, you should also approach, and you can you can do that jal arpan on the shivling, that small sphatic shivling we have. I told him, you do that, you will get so much of peace inside you. So I just dropped, and then next day I asked him, the puja room is clean, I've cleaned that. Do you want to do the Jal Abhishek? Then he kept quiet. I understood that there was some small yes inside. So I told him, okay, then come with me. So I told him to do light the lamp, do this, put chandan. And he did all that. So I said, if you think that this is a very small activity, but it will give you so much of peace inside you, and if you can do it daily, it would affect you a lot. Yes, and no, I cannot do daily. I don't have so much time. So I said, okay, you can do on every Monday. So he started doing every Monday, and this is how, like, that prayer, I sometimes feel that the prayer which I uh, do to God, that is being answering. Like, I only prayer which I feel one should has is that before lifting anybody else, you should lift the people around you. You try to give that which you have experienced or for yourself. So just like a small effort, if you can do, it will help. And that prayer has lot of, I would say, it is the only tool which human has, and it definitely give results. Maybe late, but it will not go waste. And this I have experienced a small incident, like and also with my elder son, I always tell him, you live in a hostel, so you should do Hanuman Chalisa daily. And I keep asking, are you doing? So he said, yes, I am doing at night before sleeping. So it's only that you just drop messages and don't force them. And you can share your own experiences, whatever life, because we experience some, and miracles are also happening, no? Small things happening, that grace is happening. So we can share our small tidbits, and we can just drop them. And I think everyone has to come on this path. So maybe late, but yes, some effort we can do if it is possible. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing, Dr. Savitaji. Very, very beautiful and very, very profound. Every parent has to remember. Very nice.
Jai Gurudev, I want to share my contemplation last night regarding Atma is not the doer, and I, that is the small I, is also not the doer, but dropping the doership. So this is what I kind of understood in my head, that life is a flow of energy. That's what even physics says. Philosophy also says the same. So, and Gurudev has said that thought is an impulse of energy and intelligence. Now, this or whatever I'm sharing is all what Gurudev has said at different times in answer to different people. But I just kind of brought it together for my understanding. So when we normally act or not act on thoughts. So when thought is an impulse of energy and intelligence, this energy and intelligence is Maya Janita, is Bhagwan's energy as Maya. And what determines our action or non-action is the guna karma that the individual jivas have. That is the sattva, rajas, tamas, whatever is predominant at that time, and the prarabdha karma that we have, the impressions. So these two come in play. And Gurudev says to look at everything in the context of life. So all this is happening in the backdrop of time and space, which is Ishvara. And so when all these things come together and action happens, and this is happening at nano second. That speed is so high, we cannot dissect it as it is happening. We only realize it after it has happened.
Yesterday, I was attending the Madalsa
But
class.
if you go back and with the elements and the trigunas and the prarabdha impressions that we can, this is doing the flow of life involved in it. So that way we can detach ourselves from the action. And of course, know that Bhagavan does not act. These lower or the Maya, energy of Maya, Bhagavan's lower energy is responsible. And the prarabdha karma that we are carrying in our antakarna needs cleansing. That's when, as you said earlier, that knowledge dawns only when there is when the impressions from our mind is removed. So for that, we need to do seva sadhana satsang. So Gurudev has given everything, just that we didn't, or I didn't put it together. Last night I put it together, and this gave me a lot of comfort and understanding that. And Gurudev says, drop the doership. I didn't understand what it meant, what he meant. But last night, this clarity came to me, and I thought I'd share it with you. Thank you.
Yesterday, I was attending the class of Madalsa with Nisha ji, and it was so beautiful. Everything was getting related, even if we have done it previously. But that song made me such a awareness came dawn again. That knowledge comes back. So in that song, it is said, "Why are you crying?" Means everything is not yours. It is a newborn baby who wants to. It's a lullaby. Means, but he says, "Why are you crying?" The body, for body, it is become. It has come from the Pancha Mahabhutas, and all that feelings means it was beautiful. For what we are crying? Everything is came out of ajnana, maya, and all. So if we understand this, things will not bother much. What I get from last few days is this: we are bothering, we have a doership, my likes, dislikes, wants, desires. These all things are bothering only. Our mind is a big culprit. If we feel what we are, not feelings also, feel also, only the knowing that, being that, there will not be a doership. Everything is just happening. Everything is falling in the place. Whom should we हम किसी को भी किसी के चीज के लिए जिम्मेदार नहीं रख सकते. If we think like this, everything is happening because of the gunas and prarabdhas, then we will not have a bad feeling about any result, or will not get elated with the positive results also. It's just a peaceful condition. Thank you.
So nice. We have all arrived at a similar understanding through different ways. Very beautiful.
Yes, so true. Very beautiful sharing, Sarlaji, about the Madalsa Lulube and even Sumaji. Such a beautifully you have compiled and analyzed the whole thing with Gurudev's knowledge. Very beautiful.
Maya is so powerful. Means if we know this is a Maya, still we have to act and have a Shraddha and Bhakti and Karma Yoga and knowledge. Means whatever knowledge we have, if we keep that stick with us, the path is very easy. And it doesn't take much time to come out of our sadness, our expectations, our whatever the low, high. So we get so centered again and again. So that puna puna just happens. Only knowing by this is Maya. And many times Gurudev says, now just think everything is going to finish. Then what you will what do you what do will you feel? तब फंसे रहोगे क्या उन चीजों में? नहीं. You will very at that moment you will forgive, and you will be at peace with every happenings.
Hari Om, Sumaji, would you mind taking over the session, please?
I'm traveling, Belaji, so I'm in the car. So I won't be able to.
I can take it up, Bela, no problem.
Yeah.
Just give me a few minute or so, I'll come in.
Yeah, Dhanyavad. Or I can continue sharing if someone can read, or anybody else also. Anyone wants to share. It is such a beautiful Manana session. I would love to reread this last paragraph. Dr. Renu, do you think we can, you want me to read anything? Please let me know. The last portion I would like to repeat, introduction to the next shloka. Now at the end of the Gita.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dhanyavad, Dr. Renu. Introduction to the next shloka. Now, at the end of the Gita, in this 18th chapter, the freedom from action, Naishkarmya, characterized by complete knowledge, has to be told. This Naishkarmya was pointed out in the 4th, 5th, and 6th chapters. That which is free from all action, which is motionless, is Brahman. And the one who has knowledge of this motionless Brahman, which performs no action, is called Nishkarma. Its nature is Naishkarmya, actionlessness. This actionlessness has nothing to do with doing action or not doing action. Not doing action is laziness or unwillingness or incapacity to act, whereas actionlessness, naishkarmya, is the nature of Atma. And the knowledge of it is what is called naishkarmya siddhi. I think Brahmaraji can explain very well.
Bella, are you able to share?
Yeah,
Or,
I
you
can
want me to
continue
share?
to share. I can continue to share if it is a problem for you. You
No,
just
it
have
will
to.
take me some time. It'll take me a minute or so. Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Let me share.
No problem.
You can meanwhile read the shloka, Belaji, if you can.
Yeah. Okay. No, I was just waiting if anyone wants to share anything for the 48th shloka. I think it is. We have Brahmaraji can help us in getting that roadmap for 48th shloka.
Yeah, it's a very important shloka.
Yes. 48th shloka, Brahmaraji.
Self-judgment is also talked about.
Yeah, we are on page 302, Brahmaraji. Yes, the difference between self-criticism and self-analysis is also very important.
And how the mind is talked about, no? Mind is chanchala, so it will act its nature, it's unsteady. So let it be. But our attitude should be of a karma yogi, though that mind is so unsteady. There is nothing wrong with any mind as long as it is not crazy. And if you think it should be like this or that, you will make it go crazy in no time.
Yeah. Jai Gurudev, are you all able to hear?
Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Brahmara, you weren't there for so many days, so
Correct.
we were missing you, all of us.
I missed out a lot of this. I had some, Amma was not well, so I'm right now here in Hyderabad.
Okay.
Been on and off listening, but yes, I was missing quite a few the whole of last week.
She's fine now?
She is much better, yes. She's much better.
Okay.
Dr. Bhagavad is with our restlessness and the gods and hopes to rest well soon.
Yes, of course. It's all because of all our good wishes, prayers that everything is, it's going on. This is all the Adrishta Phala that's happening. So should I start from here? Introduction to the next shloka?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, just wanted to mention that there was a mention about a combination of free will and the laws of dharma and karma. So our is about how we take every situation, about how we choose to act. These are the two things where our free will comes in place. No matter what the result, if we are able to take it in, like a karma yogi, then that is exercising our free will. And that is what puts us on the path where we rid ourselves from the binding ragadveshas. Non-binding ragadveshas are fine to have. No one can live without desiring anything or expecting anything. But getting totally flustered because what you expect doesn't happen, that puts us back into the samsara. But whereas when you are able to have a say and stay centered in spite of favorable, unfavorable situations, then you're exercising that free will. So therefore, it is a combination. And then Karma Yoga prepares us, gives us that prepared mind for Jnana Nishta to happen. Jnana Nishta again doesn't just happen like that. We have to pursue knowledge, for which we have the Shastra. Therefore, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is important. And when at the seat of Nididhyasana, you get, sometimes we have certain concepts within and they come up for that in order to shell all of those out, in order to shelve all of them. Shankaracharya beautifully takes the role of the Pratipaksha and then argues it about and says how the Advaitin understands the Shastra. So those little doubts when we sit at the seat of meditation also start getting weaker and weaker, and then that total clarity dawns. So for us as sadhaks, the first step is, of course, to live life as a complete karma yogi. And mind is not really the culprit. Mind is the way it is. That is the chanchala. The mind's nature is to be chanchala. So we just accept it the way it is and understand that we are not the mind. We are beyond the mind. So therefore that viveka is important there. Viveka, vichara. And from that, we get all that from the Shastra. Therefore, going back to knowledge, going back to the source of knowledge, means of knowledge is so important. I will just read this one. Yeah. Introduction to the next shloka. Just give me a second. Now at the end of the Gita, in this 18th chapter, the freedom from action, Naishkarmya, characterized by complete knowledge, has to be told. This Naishkarmya was pointed out in the 4th, 5th, and 6th chapters. That which is free from all action, which is motionless, is Brahman. And the one who has knowledge of this motionless Brahman, which performs no action, is called Nishkarma. Its nature is Naishkarmya, actionlessness. This actionlessness has nothing to do with doing action or not doing action. Not doing action is laziness or unwillingness or incapacity to act, whereas actionlessness, Naishkarmya, is the nature of Atma, and the knowledge of it is what is called Naishkarmya Siddhi. So not doing action is laziness or unwillingness or incapacity to act, whereas actionlessness, Naishkarmya, is the nature of Atma, and the knowledge of it is what is called Naishkarmya Siddhi. Asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigata sprihaha Naishkarmya siddhim paramam Sannyasenadhigacchati. Sarvatra, everywhere. Asakta buddhihi, the one whose mind is free from attachment. Jitatma, the one who has self-mastery. Vigatasprihaha, the one from whom longing has gone. Sannyasena, by renunciation. Naishkarmya siddhim paramam, the most exalted accomplishment of actionlessness. Adhigacchati, gains. Sarvatra asakta buddhihi jitatma vigatasprihaha sannyasena naishkarmya siddhim paramam adhigacchati. The one whose mind is free from attachment everywhere, who has self-mastery, and from whom longing has gone, gains the most exalted accomplishment of actionlessness by renunciation. Freedom from attachment. The one whose mind has no attachment, asakta buddhi, is a karma yogi. The word sakta means attached or committed to something. So, the asakta buddhi is the one whose buddhi, the mind, is not attached. To what is the person not attached? The asakta buddhi is not attached to likes and dislikes, raga dveshas, which express in terms of an affinity for or aversion to some object or the result of an action. Generally, one is totally committed, dedicated really to gathering what one likes and keeping away what one does not. External objects are divided into three groups: things that I like, things that I do not, and things that I am indifferent to. While the objects are external, the likes and dislikes are inside, which means that the objects of these likes and dislikes are not only outside, they are inside. Our day-to-day activities are totally dedicated to fulfilling these raga dveshas. Is there any exception to this? There is nothing wrong with this either. The problem comes only when there is an intense reaction if they are not fulfilled, which is often the case. The person is so committed to the fulfillment of these likes and dislikes that a non-fulfillment generates a lot of frustration, depression, sorrow, and so on. What does this mean to be not attached in this way, that is, to be an asakta buddhi? This is not simple detachment, but a thing that is to be understood well. Karma yoga is such a sensitive thing. It is very subtle because it is an attitude more than anything else, and therefore it is really only understanding. The more you understand, the easier it is to have the attitude of a karma yogi. What does it mean to be an asakta buddhi with reference to likes and dislikes? Shankara will only say that it is freedom from attachment without really explaining what that is or where the attachment is. But we understand from all that has been said, it is freedom from an attachment to the fulfillment of likes and dislikes. This is the sameness of mind that defines karma yoga. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Gita, the shloka 48 from chapter 2. Samatvam yoga uchyate. That is the sameness of mind that defines karma yoga. A karma yogi enjoys more or less a sameness of mind in that neither is there an exhilaration when something desirable is accomplished, nor a depression or frustration if something is not accomplished. Since he has freedom from attachment with reference to accomplishment, likes and dislikes are not so important that they will cause him to go against what is right and wrong. I repeat this line. Since he has freedom from attachment with reference to accomplishment, likes and dislikes are not so important that they will cause him to go against what is right and wrong. On the other hand, They are in keeping with right and wrong. What is not to be done, he does not like. And what is to be done, he likes. So he falls in line with the universal dharma. He does what is to be done, and he does not do what is not to be done. As long as what is right and wrong is kept in view in the choices you make to accomplish what you want, there is no problem whatsoever. There are hundreds of means of accomplishing various ends, but your options are only within the range of dharma. In choosing an action, you go by dharma. When you have a mind that does not give you so much pressure from likes and dislikes that you are constrained to choose a means which is not fair, you are an asakta buddhi. I will repeat this line, this paragraph. As long as what is right and wrong is kept in view in the choices you make to accomplish what you want, there is no problem whatsoever. There are hundreds of means of accomplishing various ends, but your options are only within the range of dharma. In choosing an action, you go by dharma. When you have a mind that does not give you so much pressure from likes and dislikes that you are constrained to choose a means which is not fair, you are an asakta buddhi. And when the result comes, you accept it gracefully. Whether the karma phala, the result of your actions, is in keeping with your expectation, or more than that, or less than, or opposite to what you expected, you are ready to accept it gladly. The likes and dislikes do not rule. Now you understand what detachment is? It is not a word that can be used glibly because it is full of meaning. The one who has the mind described here is an asakta buddhi. This freedom from attachment extends to everything. And thus Bhagavan says that this person has freedom from attachment everywhere, sarvatra. Shankara gives son, spouse, etc. as examples of some of the things that can be objects of an excessive attachment. A person who has this type of freedom with reference to son or daughter, wife or husband, has freedom everywhere, sarvatra. Putradara grihadishu. This is what was mentioned in Gita somewhere, as well as in Bhajagovinda, right? So if you can have this freedom from attachment, it does not mean inaction. Inaction is unwillingness to act or laziness. You act according to dharma, according to what is to be done at that moment. And then whether the result is either what you expect, less than what you expect, more than what you expect, or opposite of what you expect, you still remain samatvam. You remain the sameness in your mind. So your life is guided action by action by dharma, nothing else, not by likes and dislikes. There is some more. I think what I would do is, we have 5 minutes left. You want me to continue reading, or does anyone want to share? So asakta buddhi is not just detachment. Detachment, it's an inner attitude. It's a subtle thing of being a true karma yogi. Mastery over oneself. In other words, he is a jitatma, one who has mastery over himself. He has gained this mastery through living a life of karma yoga, keeping the raga dveshas, likes and dislikes under check. He allows dharma to rule his life and not raga dveshas, and thus has mastered his mind. When the pressure of likes and dislikes is no longer there, what kind of a mind will he have? One that is not a problem. A life of proper attitude a prayerful attitude accounts for this mastery of the mind, in that he does not come under its spell. If there was any problem, it has been taken care of. So when you have an asakta buddhi, that person is also a jitatma. Here the atma is mind. He has gained mastery over his own mind. Freedom from longing. Then again, being one who has self-mastery, being a jitatma, naturally, he is one who is released from longing for various things. Vigata sprihaha. To understand what this longing is, just observe some of the youngsters that you see moving about in groups with bandanas on their heads, chains on their necks, no buttons on their shirts, looking for varieties of things, roaming from place to place with their tongues hanging out. This is called longing. The young and the restless. While it is very visible in a youngster, it does not necessarily go when you grow up physically. Though you cannot do those things anymore because of a certain etiquette and an image that you want to present, the longing for them still remains. You have become an adult physically, but inside you are the same restless adolescent. That is what we call longing. Giving up things does not always mean that the pressure to have those things is gone. Sometimes they are given up because they cannot be fulfilled. You compromise and reconcile yourself to the fact that you cannot accomplish what you want. But the freedom from longing that we are talking about here does not involve that kind of giving up. Here, there is a certain understanding about oneself and the nature of one's own pursuits. This cognitive appreciation of the limitations of all the various pursuits can bring about a certain dispassion, vairagya, which is a mature, objective way of looking at things. When you can be objective, the longing is gone and you are vigata sprihaha. These characteristics, that is, being an asakta buddhi, sarvatra, a jitatma, a vigata sprihaha, are all the outcome of karma yoga. A person who enjoys them gains the accomplishment of freedom from action, naishkarmya siddhi. Please note that it is not by giving up karma, but by doing karma with the proper attitude, he eventually gains naishkarmya siddhi. The karma yoga itself does not give him naishkarmya siddhi, freedom from action, but it equips him with a vehicle with which one can gain naishkarmya siddhi. Once he has the vehicle for it, he must necessarily know the Atma. Since there is no longer any hindrance for him, he discovers himself to be exactly as what is unfolded by the teacher as it is taught. The vision of the teaching is non-separate from himself. Such a person, being taught, gains Naishkarmya Siddhi. So tomorrow we'll see what Naishkarmya Siddhi is. We'll stop here for today. We have 1 minute. If anyone wants to share anything. So the outcome of practicing Karma Yoga is Asakta Buddhi, Jitatma and Vigata Sprihaha. And from this, when you're practicing all of this, what you gain is Naishkarmya Siddhi. Naishkarmya Siddhi, just by practicing Karma Yoga, one does not gain moksha, right? So it only prepares the mind so in such a manner that as the teaching is unfolded by the teacher, by the means of knowledge, it becomes crystal clear. And he becomes that.
What is the exact meaning of Asakta Buddhi written in there?
Asakta Buddhi is detachment.
Detachment.
Detachment is what is an inner attitude of maintaining that samatvam yoga uchyate, no matter what. and you are detached from everything, situations, people, your spouse, your son, daughter, not totally, not excessively attached to them. So all that is part of Asakta Buddhi. We've actually gone past time, so we'll stop here. Tomorrow we can read this part one more time and go forward. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
निरुपमनित्यनिरंशकेऽप्यखण्डे मयि चिति सर्वविकल्पनादिशून्ये घटयति जगदीश जीवभेदम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया श्रुतिशतनिगमान्तशोधकानपि अहह धनादिनिदर्शनेन सद्यः कलुषयति चतुष्पदाद्यभिन्ना न घटितघटना पडीयसी माया सुखचिदखण्डविबोधमद्वितीयम् वियदनलादिविनिर्मित्ते नियोज्य भ्रमयति भवसागरे नितान्तम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया अपगतगुणवर्णजातिभेदे सुखचितिविप्रविडार्यहं कृतिं च स्फुटयति सुतदारकेहमोहम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया विधिहरिहरविभेदमप्यखण्डे बत विरचय्य बुधानपि प्रकामम् भ्रमयति हरिहरविभेदभावान् घटितघटना पडीयसी माया त्वघटितघटना पडीयसी माया